Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my finale for the hashtag teamprojectpan. This was set up by Kat and Hailey from the Beauty News and I'll have them all linked down below. It has been my second year doing this project and I will be doing it again next year. It's a full face project pan. I thought my numbers were going to be crazy different because of the pandemic. I haven't added them up, but we'll see at the end. So I'm going to show you all of my empties today for the year. I'm going to start with beauty because there's less of those and then the rest will be makeup. So if you're interested in seeing that, then just keep watching. Okay guys, so the first product I finished was this Jenny Glow perfume in lime basil and mandarin, and like I'm just so happy that I finished this. It's like the exact same as the Jo Malone one. I don't really like the lime basil and mandarin scent myself, it's just too strong. There's a girl at work who really loves it, so I know like other people obviously love it, it's for sale, but I didn't really like the smell of it. But that is that product gone out of my collection. I'm glad I have like hardly any perfumes left, which is kind of sad to me, but anyway. For body lotion, I finished this Sugar Crush 3-in-1 body lotion, 500 mils, 16.2 US fluid ounces from Soap and Glory. I don't really enjoy this particular scent as much. I love Soap and Glory everything, but it's a sugary lime scent and it's nice, but it's just not my favorite one. And I'm currently working on their body butter in this scent, because normally I get it for Christmas, so I'm hoping I do get them for Christmas again this year, but honestly I just don't know. I have used this up. 500 mils, it takes me a really long time to use those. This next one is a perfume that I got from my family member. It's kind of sad, but my Fifth Avenue scent from Elizabeth Arden. You guys know the rants I go on in relation to scents, but we love a classy, mature, ready in the morning scent. It's really lovely, but I wouldn't get it again. Although when I wear this, people compliment me, but I just feel like, you know, I'm not that mature yet. I don't know, I'm not emotionally anyway. And then for another body lotion I finished, which is another one I didn't really like, this is the Spa Exclusives. This one took me months to finish. What on earth was my problem trying to finish this? There's only 250 mils in it, like versus the 500. What was my problem? It was really, really liquidy. I ended up like just getting over myself and putting it on, but I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really enjoy it at all. And yet I cut it open. Like why? I just don't know. But I just don't have that many body lotions of things left and of ones that I don't really like. Remember last year, if you were here, the amount of these that I went through. I have none of these left. I forgot that this was even 2020 that I had this any left. This is the Soap and Glory Original Pink Body Spray. There's 100 mils in it, or 3.3 fluid ounces. I like these. Obviously not. I like these. These are just body sprays and I actually quite enjoy them. The Tutti Frutti kind of one is nice as well, but they're handy from spraying on your body and you just feel nice and clean with it, and they're not as overpowering as a perfume, so I like these. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it again, but I do like them. Then, is that it? No, we have 3 more of this body section and we'll count it up then. This is the Elizabeth, this goes with this. This came in a set. So this is 1.7 fluid ounces or 50 mils, which is such a big bottle for 50 mils, isn't it? I went through this ridiculously quickly. So this was well done. This smells beautiful, but it was also a nice cream. It wasn't too runny and it wasn't thick like a butter. But it wasn't quite a cream. It was just really nice. I really liked this. But again, it was very perfumey. Like, I don't know, but for me, I find that perfumey things dry me out. I don't know, is that like right? But it feels like it dries me out. So I wouldn't get that again anyway if I could, because of that sensation. And then I finished these 2 smaller perfumes. This is the Velvety Rose from Aldi in the shade number 14 scent. And this one here is Bitter Orange number 10 from Aldi. Both of these have 15 mils in it. I have 2 of these left and then I'll have used like what, 10 of them this year. My favourite out of all of these is Bitter Orange. If I could buy that as a single, I would. These scents are just, if you see these are really good. They're really, really good. And I go through perfume like so quickly. So it's just so handy for me to have one I don't feel as guilty because it didn't cost an arm and a leg, you know. But So they're all my beauty products. So how many did I finish? 8! That's terrible! How did I only finish 8? Ugh, I only finished 8. I mean, 8 is really good, but last year I finished something like 20. I think it was like 22. Like, that can't be. Well, look, it's 8 more products out of my collection. It's just like versus last year, you know? Like, what was I even doing? You would think the beauty categories would have gone up and the makeup would have went down. But I suppose one thing about it is I finished a lot of perfume last year and I'm running out of perfume. So I don't have as much to go through, which is the goal, I suppose, isn't it? And then I finished a lot of these last year, whereas I only had one left. So that's that. And then body lotions is just no excuse. I just don't really know. I don't know how many body lotions I finished last year. I'm curious. I will link that down below if you're curious. Now on to the makeup, and we'll count that up at the end. And then I'll show you, I suppose my progress will be at the very end as well to show you. So, okay. Okay guys, it's time for the makeup. So this is not a makeup item, but I use it as a makeup item. Do you remember this? This is the Nivea Sensitive Post Shave Balm 100 mils, and I used this as a primer to increase the longevity of my makeup. Oh my god guys, this took me 2 years to pan. 2 years, and when I started panning it, half the thing was used, like half of it. So this, obviously I think this came into our lives because of Nikki Tutorials. The glycerin apparently is meant to help this stay on your face. I remember at the time thinking that it increased the longevity of my makeup, and I bought this on sale for like €3 and I think it's normally 6, which is great considering how much primers actually cost us, but it was so runny. It was just so runny. I don't know, like I said before I would buy it again, and like because of the cost of it and the fact that at the time I said it increased the longevity of my makeup, if I could buy a teeny tiny one and find out, I would. Like Porrick actually has that downstairs. To be continued. I think Porrick has this downstairs. So maybe I could just try some of his and just see, does it actually, because I can't remember. I know I said it did, but I can't remember now, like. So that's that gone. Like €3 when it's normally 6 is excellent considering our primers are like 30 mils and they're like 30 quid. Insanity, you know. But that is my primer finished. 1. This lip gloss is a red. I finished a red lip gloss. I didn't even remember doing this. This is an Avon lip gloss in the shade Kiss Kiss. I can't declutter. I find it very hard to declutter lip products unless I have someone to give it to that's like close to me that wouldn't mind. So I don't know if you can see here, but like she gone, like there's a bit on the side and that's the end of it, and the stopper is out as well. How many mils are in this? I thought there was like 6 mils. What a good guess. There are 6 mils in this, and that's a red lip gloss. How? I definitely would have hate panned this to finish a red lip gloss, didn't I? Because I didn't wear red lipstick enough to wear a red lip gloss, so I would have paired the red over the nude. Steph, you've come so far from this time. Don't hate pan. Another primer that I finished is this little sample size, and it's Radiant Pink from MAC. This was really old in my collection. Was it? Is this the one that I got in the post? I think this is the one yeah. This is Radiant Pink. I actually liked this, not for any reason other than making my foundation less thick. So I'm not going to buy that again. Even, I know it's not cruelty free, but even then I wouldn't buy that anyway. I finished this lip gloss as well. Lip products were my jam last year because I was working like so many hours. But this year, you know, I was working from home. So this is the NYX Butter Gloss 8 mils in the shade Meringue Meringue. I really enjoy this lip gloss formula. Stopper is out. These take a long time to finish. Like a long time to finish. Can you see all of the windows in here? This is actually really nice. I actually really liked this. These are old and I enjoyed the formula of this, so I did. This is a lipstick bullet from NYX, high voltage lipstick in the shade. I liked this shade. Playdate. I liked this. Oh, I completely used this. So like, I mean, even the inside, I don't normally anymore go inside the bullet, but I went inside, so I can't do anything to show you, but it was a purpley shade. It was a purple pink. It was a pink. And it was actually really nice. I used that really quickly. I don't know how I did that. I finished another lipstick and I don't see it here anywhere. High voltage. I finished 2 of these. Where is it? I finished 2 of these. One in a purple shade, I thought. But anyway, for the purpose of this, we'll say we didn't because we don't have it here to show you. So that's my lipstick that is finished. I enjoyed using that one as well. It was really, really creamy though, and it would migrate, just so you're aware. Another lip product. This one I'm really, really proud of because it's just impossible. Impossible. Panning a liquid lipstick because you can't really reapply it as much. Oh, and this is the Sleek Matte Me Liquid Lip in the shade Petal. I actually forgot I panned this. This is something I kind of hate panned as well. Look, Steph, what? This is, I wish you could see in this, there's like nothing in there. This, let me just, like, see, can you see? I shouldn't have panned this. It was a nice pink shade, but like I don't wear pink enough to pan it, you know, like to wear it that often. I shouldn't have done this. This was a bad decision. It's empty, but I learned a lesson from that, and they just take so long to use. The Sleek Liquid Lipstick formula is not great. It is, well, this Matte Me one is just, it's very dry, but it's thin, but it shows lines on your lips. I shouldn't have panned this, but I did. And it wasn't even expired, like it wasn't close to expiry or anything like that, I don't think. Because that says 36 months on it. Any more lip products? Yes. I finished this lip gloss. This is a Huda Beauty Mini in the shade Star-Crossed. I finished the last two of these this year. There was a smell. Well, good thing I panned it, guys. The smell is gone. It is officially gone bad. So this I got not that long ago, I would have thought. Oh no, 3 years ago now. This is a duochrome lip gloss, and I wouldn't really bother buying those again. There's only something like 2 mils in these. Yeah, 2 mils, God, these stick with me. I liked this one probably the most. It was like a duochrome silver white. It was a duochrome milk base with a kind of a gold overlay, and I enjoyed using it, but, well, actually, to be honest, I enjoyed using it. It was sticky, but it wasn't that sticky, but it's officially gone now. Because that smells disgusting, you know. I'm kind of happy now that I actually prioritised them. Why are I have glosses older than that, don't I? This product I finished since the last update, so you will have not yet seen this empty. This is my La Cura lip gloss, and I got this in Aldi. There's 8 mils in this. This is a brownie nude, and I really enjoyed this. Guys, I struggled to get everything out of it. I ended up putting it in boiling water as suggested to try and get the product to go down, and I just don't know if you can see. And then what I ended up doing was sticking a brush in and scraping it all out with a brush. You'd be surprised, not only do you get a lot of product when you take out the stopper, but if you actually go to the bother of sticking a brush down in there, you get a lot more out of it. I really liked this. Aldi needs to come back with some more lip glosses because this was really lovely. What a surprise. Do I sound snobby saying that? Probably. Now let's count the lip products. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We finished 6 lip products. We finished 4 lip glosses, 1 liquid lipstick, and 1 bullet lipstick in this project, which is, we're redeeming ourselves now, guys. We're redeeming ourselves. For, oh my God, for concealer, we'll do mascaras, because there's 3 of them. So for mascara, I finished 3. This is a load of crap. This is a load of crap. No way. This is the Maybelline Great Lash Mascara. There's 12.5 mils in this. For the record, I use mascaras until I can't get any more out of it. I don't rotate them out after 3 months. A lot of these say 6 months on the back of them anyway, but I will only, this one says 6 months, stop using it when it's as dead as a doornail. When there's no redeeming it. This is the wand. It was like €7, I think, which is, you know, not that cheap. I was in the chemist, I needed a mascara, and I was trying to find the cheapest mascara that was in there because I was strapped for cash at that time. Something was happening and I needed to buy a mascara, but I needed like the cheapest one I could find, and at the time that was the cheapest one I could find. Well, it's useless, guys. It's just terrible. No, I'm not sorry. It's terrible. It goes up onto, like, I've hooded eyes, so pretty much everything goes up there. But guys, it's just useless at everything. That's my opinion. And I didn't like it, and I won't get that again no matter how strapped I am for cash. I'd rather have no lashes on than that. Garbage. This here is a mini that I got from my dad. Dad bought me a magazine, And when I was a kid, like a teenager, I used to love, you could never buy them because you didn't really have any money, but I used to love magazines that came with a little gift inside. So Dad was coming like to see me. I was living in Dublin at the time, like this year, and he came up and he gave me this magazine, and this was inside it. It's so thoughtful. This is the Benefit They're Real mascara. There you go. I actually really enjoyed this from my recollection of it. Look at that wand. Yeah, I seem to like that. Oh my God, I have to show you something. Remind me to show you something. No, you can't. I actually quite liked this because it could get right up under there. This is something I still struggle with. Like, look how long it is. I still struggle with getting things up on my lid because my lid is hooded. So it is selective on that. But I liked the wand of this, but you know, it is kind of expensive. But I would consider, like, that's something I would consider. It was a mini and I got a good bit of time out of the mini, and I'm really grateful to have tried it because, you know, I don't ordinarily, okay, I never buy expensive mascaras myself. I always buy drugstore mascaras. So unless something like this happens, I won't end up trying it. So I'm really happy that I got to try that because now I know. Now, where's my favorite mascara? Here it is. I got this from Elaine. This is the Ilia mascara. I never tried anything of Ilia before. I never even heard of Ilia before. This is the mascara, okay? These are expensive enough, apparently. So this is the wand. Like, it doesn't look conspicuous. Look, like, it doesn't look like anything conspicuous, or, you know, I don't know. If you saw that, would you be like, ooh, you know? But this is the only mascara that I have ever worn that every single application was a good day, a good eyelash day. There, not once did it transfer up there, not one time, which never happened to me before. I thought because I have hooded lids that it was just something that I would have on every mascara. I didn't know that there would be one that it wouldn't ever happen, and it would lift. Like, I don't curl my eyelashes because I'm just too lazy, and this would lift it up and like curl it out. And it would give a lot of volume and a lot of length. And I just loved it so much. And I'm really, I found out from one of you guys that you can buy it in Space NK. There's one store of Space NK in Ireland, and it's a tiny store, and I went in and they don't sell it, but they sell it online. However, it's a UK website, and I'm going to have to start paying customs. So if I'm going to buy, I could buy from the US then if I was going to. It's just so disappointing. I don't know where I'm going to buy my makeup from. But anyway, that is that. Now, what's next for you guys? Concealer. We'll do eyebrow pencil because it's the only one that is a one, if you get me. I finished this eyebrow pencil, guys. I've been panning this for 2 years, and it wasn't from the beginning. This pencil is not a pointy tip. So I find if it has a regular pencil tip, it takes me ages. There's nothing in there, guys. It is gone. This is a Catrice pencil. There was a spoolie on the other side, and I think it was in the shade Casanova, which was such a perfect match for my eyebrows. It was a kind of a cooler tone. It wasn't warm tone, which is good. But this pencil is gone. How did I manage to save that little nib? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So for concealer, I finished 4. This one. This is the It's Maybelline concealer, and it is in the shade, well, I thought it was in the shade Fair something, but I can't see it now. Light. All I can see is LI, so I assume it's light. And it's completely gone. I liked this from my recollection. God, I can't even remember. I panned 2 of these. 2. And I can't remember how I feel about it. I remember at the time liking it sometimes and not liking it other times. Because I just remember some days being like, oh, I really like this. And then other days being not so sure. Because I remember it was kind of oxidized a little bit. But I don't know. Maybe it's because it was getting older. I don't know. But this is the instant age rewind. What do you guys think of this? Someone tell me your thoughts, please. Would I buy it again? I probably would. Because most of the time, all of my concealers are... Not all, but most of my concealers are affordable. If you haven't guessed, this is another empty. This is my cream contour kit, and I finished all of the concealer shades. Finished the whole palette this year. There it is. All of the concealer shades were down the end. It's empty. This is a full palette empty. It is a full palette empty. So imagine, oh, I don't know, like this was terrible, okay? It was just terrible. This is the Sleek Cream Contour Kit in the shade Light. The contour shade, there was a contour shade in here that was just beautiful. Then it just became creamy and putty and disgusting. And what I should, like, I couldn't have given this to anyone, okay? Because it was terrible. And it was used. But I couldn't throw it in the bin either, so I hate panned this. What do you do in this situation? You say, throw it away, Steph. But it was just so wasteful to me. I was just like, I can't throw it away. I can't give it to anyone. And I can't throw it away. So what do? I have to use it. And it was awful. So I don't know. And now the reason why I probably didn't have success with it is because it was older. Because I remember when I was using it before, like towards the start of its shelf life, I used a lot of it very quickly and I gravitated and I actually really enjoyed it. And the older it got this disgusting putty-like formula. So it probably was gone off, like, I don't know. Like I should have, I just couldn't. I just can't. Some products I just can't. So the first powder that I finished this year was this. It was technically a highlighter and this was something I hate panned as well. Like I feel like I actually did grow so much this year because this is something I hate panned. So this is the Revolution Strobe Highlighter in Everglow Lights. It was a baked powder, there's 7.5 grams in it. It was a highlighter, but I used it as a face powder because I just did not understand how in the name of God, how in the name of the love of the Lord, it was highlighter. It was like a hard pressed talc. It wasn't even like pressed talc, it was hard, it was rotten. I don't know who it would do anything for, but I couldn't give it to anyone. I didn't know who to give it to because I felt like, no, this is crap. I can't give someone something, like I can give someone something that I don't like that maybe they would like because it could be a reason why I don't like it. But I couldn't see anyone using this in any capacity at all. And then I was like, okay, so you have to use it. And why did I do that? Oh, I don't know. So silly of me to do such a thing. This next powder I finished is actually now used repressed, something's repressed, but it was the Wet n Wild Contouring Duo in Dulce de Leche, and I used up the banana side. The banana powder, I've repressed a bronzer in here from my bronzer palette, and guys, this bronzer is actually one of the lightest bronzers I own, and you wouldn't think it because it looks so deep in the pan, and it's fantastic. There's 3 bronzers in that pan, but anyway, the banana powder in here I loved. So it was very poofy. It reminds me of a paste powder version of the ABH formula in the sense that it was really poofy. Not many people seem to like that. I love stuff that has a lot of kick up. I will use the kick up. I don't waste it, but I just seem to enjoy it. There were some times that it would oxidize on me if I used it, but those seem to be, maybe I put too much concealer on or something and it just seemed to kind of darken. But most of the time it would like smoothen out the under eye, like smooth, like airbrushed. It was like I put a filter on my face. I just loved it. I wish that you could buy that as a single, but like I really liked it. And then I went on the hunt with the help of you guys for a banana powder. So we're now using another one and I enjoy the other one. Still prefer this one though, but I enjoy the other one. So that is that powder gone, and it was a huge success. I really enjoyed it. And this particular palette had been sitting in my drawer and it just wasn't being used. So I am so happy that it got so much use this year. Like so much use. So the next powder I finished was, I put it in here. This is the 3D printed palette that Porrick made. So I don't know if you guys know what a 3D printer is, but he drew up a drawing on the computer with some weird software based on dimensions that I gave him. So I had a big massive face palette from Makeup Revolution that Porrick actually bought me for Christmas one year. There was 36 pans in it. They had bronzers, they had blushes, they had highlighters, and they had face powders, and I was using a blush and a bronzer, and that was the palette gone. I finished this palette this year, and he measured I depotted it because it was 36 pans, and we put 3 in here, excuse me, and he measured it. So I can take these pans out. But he 3D printed this for me, and I before I had a little painter thing, I was using my hand and I used to mix things on this lid. I finished a blush, which was in here. This was a peach blush, a peachy red, a peachy pink blush, and it was actually lovely. The formula was like a pressed talcum powder, okay? but it was actually lovely. And then I finished a pressed banana powder from that same palette, and I finished just a regular pressed powder that was my skin tone shade. And I keep this palette because I repress stuff into it all of the time. It's like the best thing ever. He was excited because he had just gotten the 3D printer. So that was a blush and 2 powders. And then I finished this powder also very, very recently. This is, I got from Elaine. It was 1 gram in it, or 0.035 ounces. It was a Cover FX translucent light loose powder. I really enjoyed this, but not for under my eyes. I liked it on my face. It was really finely milled. It was really nice for your face, just not for the under eye. I prefer a kind of a banana under my eye, a little bit of a yellow undertone for underneath my eye to brighten it, whereas this kind of just looked crepey under the eye, which is probably just my eye. But on the face it was beautiful. I'm so happy I got to try that. That is my first Cover FX experience, I think. Bronzer, I finished 2 pans of bronzer. They were in this palette, and this palette is not empty. I've repressed it as you saw, but I finished, this is the Makeup Revolution bronze palette. There was 12 grams and 12, there's 13 grams in this palette, and I got it for Christmas off Pork, and I used up 2 of these pans myself, and I have now repressed the rest into other pans because my bronzer brush is a lot bigger than this pan, so it just felt easier to put it into another one. I love this palette. The bronzers from Makeup Revolution, I really enjoy their formula. A lot of people kind of say Makeup Revolution, you know, I've heard bad things lately, but I really like Makeup Revolution myself. But I do think it's because I live in Europe, and we don't have many things as accessible as in the US. Like Colourpop isn't accessible for us. Elf is not really, like, for me anyway, in Ireland, I can't just go into a shop and just buy Elf. It's just not, that's not a thing for me. I can't just go in and buy Milani. These things aren't easily for me to access. This is Makeup Revolution. Makeup Revolution is easier for me to access, so maybe that's why I'm kind of more lenient upon it, I suppose. But I liked this. I like their bronzers. I think their bronzers are great. They're grand. This, however, I actually just really liked the palette, and I used up the lightest shade and I used up the second lightest shade, and I really enjoyed it. There's only 1 point something grand per pan, and it took me nearly, God lads, it took me such a long time. Like, there was a period of time where I could see the rings, and I was like, oh my God, I can see the rings. I'm definitely going to hit pan soon. It took me 3 months. 3 months to hit the pan from when I could see the rings. I don't know why that is. I used it all the time. I really like it. And I'm keeping this palette until I finish the rest because the OCD within me says that must happen. Then for highlighter, lads, we have actually had a victorious year all the same. Ah! So this is my sleek highlighting palette in Solstice, and this is another product that I should have decluttered to someone, because I actually know someone who loves this palette and I didn't. It was the most blinding highlighter that I own, which at the start of the year was something I actually did like. However, it really, really, really accentuated the texture from my skin. I mean, really hideously accentuated it. What I did learn from this is I had the Soph X palette that had 8 highlighter pans in it. It had a very similar formula to this, so I did declutter that, so yay, victory. But this is something I panned for 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years of hate panning. Now, I loved the colour, but I hated the formula on my skin because I just have texture, and it really showed it up. Again, I loved the colour. The purple was my least favourite. But I love the orangey one, and I loved the golden one, and even the cream one. The cream one was the first to go, but I didn't like that at all. So I hate panned something for 4 years. What? Why? That was so miserable. I spent most of my 20s wearing makeup I didn't like. 2020 seems to be the year where I actually finally decluttered some things and like gave it to people that would actually use it. This, I suppose at least I decluttered the other thing. But I shouldn't have panned this. I didn't like it. But I just had feck all money. And it was a big deal to me to, like, what I would do is, which I shouldn't have done, is if this cost 12 euros, I would be like, how long would I have had to work to generate 12 euros of take home pay? And then if it was an hour, if it was 2 hours, I would imagine, oh, I would have had to done this, this and this. And you know, oh my God, it's just not worth it. Oh, it's so depressing. Why did I do that? But this is great. I finished all of the pans of highlighter. So this year I finished 2 of the pans. I am so slow at highlighter panning. I think there was 2 or 3 grams per pan, but I could be wrong. But like I finished the orange and the purple this year. And then I finished the other 2 over the last couple of years. My God. And like when I started this year, I had a massive amount of pan in them and it took me forever. But you see, I remember they were so thick as well. Like it was a real high up pan. It's gone now. I'm so grateful. At least I learned from it. At least I learned from it. Not worth it. Don't do that, Steph, ever again. I didn't realize that this was 2020. I thought this was 2019. I thought all of 2020 I'd learned, but no. Since the last update, I also finished this foundation. Yay! This is the combination oily one of the Revlon Color Stay in the shade 110 Ivory. Ivory, lads. I used every bit of it. I used this boiling water or hot water hack that you guys told me. Put it in a jar, a container of hot water, and it would make it move down. It did. It didn't work for the lip gloss because the lip gloss kept floating in the water, whereas this did not. And it was like, I managed to get everything out, didn't I? Like there is nothing in there. This is a really full coverage foundation. This 110 Ivory, is that darker or fairer than the shade Buff? Because I was told before I was in the shade Buff. However, this for me felt way too pale. I think it was because it was just so full coverage. This used to be my favorite foundation. It's actually quite expensive. It's like 18 or 19 euros. I think it's 18.99, so 19 euros, which is not cheap, but it does last like obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months to pan this. I'm happy because it's actually quite old in my collection and I have it gone now. But yeah, it's a full coverage matte foundation, and I used to, the reason why it took me so long is I would use a teeny tiny bit. I would then put a teeny tiny bit of a darker foundation on my skin, and I would also put a moisturizer, and I'd mix it all together to make it a lighter coverage, because I used to love full coverage matte, but I don't anymore. And I felt that this was too pale, probably because my face was just full and flat looking. Maybe it wasn't, but I really felt like I was just, whoa, I was really white and it was horrible. Just didn't, I don't know, I didn't like it at all. So that is everything I finished. So let's count the makeup empties. 21! Oh my God, I think that's the same as last year. I think last year was 20 or 22. No, I think I finished 66 products in my project pan last year. Oh, but anyway, I finished 22 during a pandemic, and I feel like they're hard products as well. Like liquid lipsticks, they're impossible. You know, like I hate panned a good portion of this. Isn't that insane? Like I think that I will always probably hate panned glosses. I don't have enough now, so it's fine. And lipstick, I struggle on that category because I just don't really know if I can pass it on. And concealers, but I'm really happy with that. Have I like progress items left? Yeah, progress items. So this I've been panning for 2 years now. This Christmas Day, I've been panning this for 2 years. This is a progress item. This is the Benefit KaBrow in the shade 2. There really, let me just get up close and personal. There really isn't, like there's a lot left, but what I mean is in terms of what we began with, there's not a lot left. I only use a small bit of this. This was like 29 euros, but I got it off Porrick for Christmas. He called this, I don't know if you guys know anything about tools. I don't, or if you have partners that know anything about tools. He knew that I used this, and he went into our Sephora equivalent and said he was looking for a brow product that looked like a quill drive. And the shop assistant was able to help him. I don't know, I found that really funny when he told me that. Neutrogena moisturizer, this was here. This is the product that I use to mix into foundation to make it lighter. I need to purchase a moisturizer. I don't have much skincare at all. I have just one item of everything. And now this is gone, pretty much. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to see, obviously not, I don't have a light, but like there's just nothing in this. There's so little in this, I can't mark it, but I can still get stuff out, so it's still here. But this is a product I wasn't rushing on. This is a Neutrogena oil-free moisturizer that I got as a gift, which I'm really grateful for. There's 50 mils in it. And I used this to make all of my foundations not as thick. So I need to find a moisturizer that's really, really, really affordable that I can mix in with these things, because this is literally on its last legs. It's on the way out. What else? The Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. Guys, the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick I got from Elaine, I really, really like this. This is something I also wouldn't have purchased. I don't buy expensive lip products. I find it very hard to buy expensive lip products, but this is only a little small one and it's in the shade Pillow Talk, and apparently it's the light one. The light one of the two. I didn't even know there were two because I just didn't know. So it's small, but it lasts, it's not gone. Like, there's still this much left. But if you look into the bullet, can you see? Hang on, it goes down a good bit, so, you know. But it's like a creamy formula, but not too creamy, so it actually just stays on quite well. I really like this. To the point where I'm actually like, oh, Charlotte Tilbury, I will buy one of your lipsticks one day because I actually really enjoy this. So I will continue to pan this next year, but I'm going to put it into my makeup, my lip product project pan section. And then all I really have left is that bronzer palette. I repressed 3 of the bronzers into here in a video. I'll link the video somewhere. But look, I'm really happy with the job that I did on repressing this. I used this another 12 times. I really like this. I'm really happy with what I did. Like, I thought because I was filming it wouldn't go well, because normally, like, it's the same with cooking actually. I can cook like a bloody Gordon Ramsay. That's hyperbole. I can cook really well when it's for me by myself, or maybe pork, but as soon as other people come into the picture, everything falls apart. It doesn't work out for me. But yeah, I really, really like this bronzer, so this is something that I also want to pan. But like, it's going to take me a long time. There's a lot of product in here. We have this mascara that I rolled in, and this is what I wanted to point out to you. This is from Aldi, okay? It's in the shade. It's called Too Legit Lacura in the shade Black. Does it look like something? This was €6, guys. 6. It's a dupe for the benefit of the real. So now I can afford this without feeling guilty. So here's the wand for the Aldi one. This is I'm going to come up, I suppose it's not exactly the same, but it's still similar. You see? There's a product on the top, but like, it's very similar. The Aldi one is grand, like, it's good. I just love the bloody Ilia one so much that it's just so hard for anything to compare to it. I have it on today. It lifts the lashes, it gives it a bit of volume. It doesn't give it a lot of length, but it gives it a good bit of volume, and I like it, but I prefer the Ilia. It's irritating how much I prefer the Ilia over everything else in my life. Then for blush, I brought this palette in, and it's the Makeup Revolution blush palette, and I use this also 12 times this month. And I'm trying to decide, what am I supposed to do next year, guys? Like, I don't want to give a year of my life to this, but I just want to use it though all the same. Like, out of all the blushes I have, this one I just want to use the most. Do you get me? And I keep being drawn to this shade over here. Like, I enjoy using this palette. The blush in here though is quite pigmented. It's not as pigmented as Juvia's Place blushes. I don't like very pigmented blushes myself, and I recently got Juvia's Place, and it's a bit too it's too pigmented for what I like, but I like the colours too much. This, every single blush I own, I always have to powder my cheeks afterwards, because even if I go boop, there's just too much. But I think I'll bring this in again next year and just start off maybe with a usage goal or something, because I actually really like using it. Like, you can see, I don't know if you can see, but there's disruption on all of these pans now. Disruption. I got this blush palette for Christmas off Pork as well. So that is my update, guys. I think we have everything in here. So by my calculations then, we have finished 22, is that what I said, plus 8, so 30. I think we finished 30 products, but I could be wrong, but by my calculations we finished 30, which is not as good as last year at all by any means, but it's still good to me. Like, I don't mind if I don't finish. Ultimately, I don't mind if I don't finish as much of the beauty category, because at this point in time I don't have as much. But the makeup, you know, that's where my goal is. So if you enjoyed my Team Project Pan for 2020, please do subscribe, and we'll do it again next year. If you're doing this next year, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I really genuinely appreciate it. I'll see you the next time. Take care. Bye. Thank you.